You know, we all spend about a third of our lives doing it, sleeping.
At least.
But for most of us, sleep is just a passive blackout. You check out, you check back in, and hopefully you feel rested.
Right.
But what if that whole nightly journey wasn't passive at all? What if you could turn that time into a one-on-one session with the part of you that already has the answers?
And that is the core idea behind today's deep dive. Unlocking those deep personal messages we get every single night. The guidance that's, well, hidden in our dreams.
So we're really exploring this structured process called dream incubation.
Exactly.
Our mission today, then, is for you, the listener, who wants to stop just passively waiting for inspiration and start actively, well, downloading the truth of your life.
We're giving you the psychological mechanism, the tools, and the ritual to make this something you can actually do tonight.
Learning to use this system really turns your nightly journey into a kind of personal map.
It's a road to genuine insight, to psychological growth, and it can profoundly shift how you solve problems. Let's make sleep the most productive part of your day.
Okay, so let's unpack the basic conflict here. Why does profound wisdom always seem to come through, blurry, symbolic nonsense? A floating purple fish, or a random conversation with your third grade teacher?
Right.
Why isn't it just a clear 3-point bullet list in our waking mind? Why is the universe such a terrible communicator during the day?
Well, what's so fascinating here is that the signal is always running. It's always there.
Yeah.
But during the day, your internal receiver is completely jammed.
Jammed by what?
It's the psychological mechanism at play. It's the relationship between your conscious self and your deep unconscious.
So you're talking about the ego.
Exactly. Think of your ego, your waking conscious self, as this hypervigilant boss running a major corporation.
Okay.
And this boss is loud, logical, extremely focused on daily demands, and unfortunately obsessed with fear and constraint. It's that voice saying, "You can't do that, that's impossible. Just stick to the safe routine."
So the ego is basically a powerful gatekeeper, right? It filters all the incoming data based on what it already believes.
Yes, precisely.
And if a big, new, maybe illogical truth comes along, it just rejects it because it doesn't fit the spreadsheet.
It doesn't fit. And that filtering is vital for surviving the day. I mean, we need it. But it also starves us of wisdom. The most profound truths, the ones that require big changes or accepting a tough reality, they're just too challenging for the ego to process while it's in charge.
But when we transition into sleep,
Especially REM sleep, the boss takes a nap.
that sounds great in theory, but if we're bypassing the ego, the part that manages logic and controls fear, doesn't that just open the floodgates to, irrational anxieties? Or just random noise?
That's a critical point. And yes, if we didn't have a structured approach, the signal would just be noise.
Okay.
But when the ego quietens, that back door, the subconscious, or what some call the higher self,
Yeah.
it opens wide. And this is the golden moment. This is where that deep, unconstrained information flows.
Unconstrained.
It's not limited by linear time. It can reveal suppressed truths. It can, download ideas you just couldn't conceive of while you're awake. The challenge, as you said, is separating that true signal from all the static.
And that signal is often weak. It's like an untuned radio station drifting in and out. So if you want high quality, actionable guidance, you have to stabilize the frequency.
And that's where the sources point toward the intentional use of focus tools. We're not talking about magic, but about leveraging the power of sensory anchors.
Okay, so we're talking about crystals, but let's frame them not as mystical objects, but as psychological anchors.
That's the most helpful way to see them.
They provide a fixed sensory input, a cool temperature, a specific weight, a texture that helps you focus your intention before you sleep. It helps you bypass that ego noise.
Exactly. They align your subconscious intention by giving your conscious mind something specific to focus on. And we can actually break these tools down by their objective.
All right, let's start with the first group. Tools for clarity and protection. The ones that help you see the message sharply while also, offering a sense of stability.
For activation and pure visual clarity, the stone is Labradorite. It has this unique iridescent flash.
I've seen it. It's beautiful.
It is. And when it's used with intention, people report their dreams shifting into almost 4K resolution. The visual detail becomes startlingly clear, which is crucial for remembering it later.
And Labradorite is also tied to this concept of synchronicity in waking life. This is where it gets really tactical.
It is. Synchronicity isn't just a coincidence. Carl Jung defined it as a meaningful link between your inner state and an outer event, with no causal connection.
So what does that look like?
It means if you get a clear message in your dream, Labradorite is said to increase the chance that you'll see that message confirmed. A specific license plate, a phrase on a billboard, an unexpected call the very next day.
That's the universe giving you a little double tap saying, hey, pay attention.
That's it, exactly. Now, to sharpen that interpretation, you might pair it with Lapis Lazuli. This is the stone of dream awareness.
Okay.
It helps you acutely interpret complex symbols and, very importantly, distinguish genuine guidance from the fears your mind just manufactures before you fall asleep.
Right. And speaking of fears, if your emotional landscape is total chaos before bed, you're only going to dream about fighting the fire, not finding the solution.
Exactly. So the next objective is emotional healing and peace.
This is where stones like amethyst come in.
Yes, amethyst is the classic calming stone. It helps alleviate anxiety, promotes peaceful sleep, and that prepares the mind for deep work. It also helps enhance intuitive abilities that can support lucid dreaming.
And what about Moonstone? I've heard that's used if you know you have suppressed trauma or emotional issues you need to work through.
Moonstone is very gentle. It works directly with the subconscious to bring those things up. Instead of you being defensive, it allows those suppressed emotional burdens to just float to the surface so they can be processed in the safety of the dream state.
It's like an emotional excavator.
A very gentle one. And before we get to interpretation, let's quickly touch on blue apatite.
Oh, this is a big one. We've all had those incredible, life-changing dreams where you wake up and the message just, it slips away like water through your fingers.
Gone by breakfast.
Exactly.
This is why apatite is considered the recall stone. It acts like a psychological flash drive, helping you retain all the tiny details, the colors, the numbers, the dialogue, which helps you link the dream answers to real-life signs later. It bridges that gap between the sleeping and waking mind.
So you set your intention, your anchor's in place, you've had a vivid dream, now what? You have to learn the language of the unconscious. And this feels like the hardest, but also the most rewarding part of the whole practice.
That's right. As Carl Jung taught us, the unconscious speaks in symbol, image, metaphor, and most powerfully, in emotion. If you try to interpret it with just your daytime logic, you will fail every time.
And Jung's most famous insight, which is so critical here, is that dreams often compensate for our conscious attitude. What does that compensation principle really mean?
It means the dream is showing you exactly what you are neglecting, avoiding, or actively refusing to see about yourself in your waking life.
So an example.
Well, if you are a hyperlogical, work-obsessed person, always pushing, always achieving, your dream isn't going to show you a more efficient spreadsheet.
Right.
It might show you finding a beautiful neglected garden or a peaceful hidden house that you refuse to leave. The dream is compensating for the lack of rest in your waking life.
Which means you have to throw out the generic dream dictionary. The symbolism is purely personal.
Absolutely.
A dog can mean companionship to me, but if I was bitten as a child, that same dog symbolizes fear and betrayal.
The importance of personal association is paramount. You have to focus on what the symbol means to you and the feelings it brought up. If you dream of a childhood bully, the dream isn't about that person. It's about the power struggle that bully represents in your current adult life.
So here's the critical check then. If you wake up and think, oh, I already knew that, you've almost certainly missed the real message.
Yes. Dreams tell us what we don't know, or, more often, what we don't want to know.
And how do you get past that?
This is where you can use an analytical technique of challenging the dream ego. If the dream is confusing, ask yourself, what if the attitudes or assumptions of me in the dream were completely wrong?
Like that watch example.
The watch example is perfect. The man's conscious belief was that his watch falling apart meant someone cheated him out of money. The real message, the compensatory one, was that the watch, which symbolized his outdated values of ambition and rigid structure, had outlived its usefulness. He needed a profound change in his life.
So how do we stop confusing that deep, real insight with just wishful thinking, or just the brain cleaning up random junk from the day? How do we recognize that true click?
You look for 3 undeniable signals that the subconscious is actively sending a message. First, recurring symbols or themes.
The same thing over and over.
Right. If you repeatedly see the same house, a specific person, or a set of numbers week after week, the subconscious is shouting. It's saying a lesson needs to be learned or an issue needs to be fixed.
Okay, what's the second signal?
The appearance of archetypes. These are figures rooted in our collective human experience. Encounters with figures of great power, like a wise old man or woman, or animals of immense symbolic strength, a lion, a soaring eagle. These often signal a major life transition is happening.
It's offering a kind of deeper wisdom.
Yes. And the third, and maybe the most crucial filter, is emotional intensity.
How you feel when you wake up.
Exactly. Dreams that leave you feeling profoundly disturbed or intensely joyful or shockingly angry, those are gold mines. The emotion itself is the core message. True insights give you emotional clarity, that distinct aha moment, not more confusion.
That's the framework. Now let's make this actionable. For anyone listening who wants to try this tonight, let's go through this 6-step dream incubation ritual.
Step 1, set intention. This has to be done right as your brain begins to slow down, shifting from beta and alpha toward that drowsy pre-sleep theta state.
So right before you fall asleep.
Yes. You quietly state your intention or ask a clear, specific question. It can't be broad like, make me happy. It has to be focused. What should I know for my personal growth right now? Or what is the next step I need to take in my career?
Step 2, crystal placement. Place your chosen anchor crystal amethyst for calm, labradorite for activation near your head or on your bedside table. This is your sensory tool to stabilize the frequency.
Step 3, prepare for stillness. And we have to emphasize this. You must quiet the mind. No screens for at least an hour before bed. Practice relaxation techniques. You can't get a pure signal if your mind is buzzing with the day's demands.
Then step 4, journal immediately. This is where most people fail.
It's so crucial.
You can't delay and you can't self-censor. When you wake up, before you even check your phone, the very first thing to record is the emotion you felt: terror, relief, joy. Then you record every detail, no matter how nonsensical it seems.
Get it down before the ego's logic tries to organize it and dismiss it.
Step 5, identify the personal pattern. Now you analyze. Resist that urge to look up generic definitions. Focus on what the symbols mean to you and the feelings they brought up. Look for that compensatory meaning.
What attitude were you holding yesterday that this dream is trying to correct?
And the final step, step 6, integration and action. The deep dive doesn't end when you wake up. If you got an answer, ask a focused follow-up question the next night.
Something like, based on this answer, what concrete step should I take next?
And the answer to that.
The subsequent answer often arrives not as another dream, but as clear, powerful intuition or a strong, undeniable inner feeling the next morning.
This whole process is really about creating a conscious, stable connection, a bridge to the deepest, wisest part of yourself.
It moves you past the fear-based decisions of the ego and toward, well, psychological wholeness in your waking life.
And as we close this deep dive, let's leave you with one final provocative thought: a huge, untapped potential. Beyond just interpreting the message, many people who practice this find they start to achieve lucid dreaming.
That's the state of knowing you are dreaming while you're still asleep, and often being able to consciously control the narrative in that world.
And the science is finally catching up.
It is. Neuroscientists confirm this state involves heightened activity in the prefrontal cortex, the brain's center for self-awareness, during REM sleep. It shows your brain is capable of its highest level functioning even when the ego is offline.
And this isn't just some mental party trick. This self-healing power is now being explored clinically.
Lucid dreaming is now being used as a legitimate therapy, especially for chronic nightmare disorders from trauma. It allows the dreamer to rewrite painful scripts in a safe, controlled state. It just shows the true, incredible power of your sleeping mind.
So you have the map, you have the tools, and you have the steps. What powerful question will you ask your higher self when you lie down tonight?
And what incredible truth will it deliver?